Wild Bird Society of Taipei, Protecting Land and Sky. The WBST was a key player in saving the Guandu Nature Park in Taipei. In the 1980s, during a period of industrial growth in Taiwan, lands around Guandu were used as a dumping ground. Waste quickly spoiled the local ecosystem, but members of the WBST took notice. After years of campaigning, the society got the government to allow it to tend to the area. It was a huge project, and the WBST didn't know whether or not it could handle it. A lot of money was given to help save Guandu and the animals that lived there. Today, thanks to the hard work of the WBST, Guandu Nature Park is alive again. The society continues to watch wild birds in their natural environment. The WBST doesn't just research birds, though. It studies insects and other animals, too. All of these creatures live together in a sensitive ecosystem. In addition to research, the WBST has written several books and runs regular workshops and birdwatching activities. It also manages the Wild Bird Rescue Center, where sick birds are given medical care.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
And today we're going to continue with the second part of our article about the Wild Bird Society of Taipei, the WBST as we're going to call them for short, and its aim of helping humans and birds to live together in harmony. Let's check out part 2, which begins, the WBST was a key player in saving the Guandu Nature Park in Taipei. If you're a key player in something, it means you play a very important part or role.
这个 key 就是关键的意思，所以台北野鸟协会其实是拯救台北关渡公园自然公园的关键人物。
Have you been up there to the wetlands park and checked it out much?
No, but I live very near. Maybe
okay.
I'll check it out next time.
I have been up for a little walk around there. It was kind of... I mean, I saw birds, but I don't know what birds are what. It was a nice little walk around for an hour or two. Kind of quiet, pleasant. Saw some water buffalo.
Oh, really? There's water buffalo.
There's a couple up there, I think. Or there were when I went a few years ago now. Anyway, the article carries on. In the 1980s, during a period of industrial growth in Taiwan, lands around Guandu were used as a dumping ground. So the word industrial relates to industry. Specifically, it kind of means lots of factories, mass production of goods, building shops and new roads and new transport things, and basically the growth of factories and factory products, good and bad. We could say, for example, there are many factories in this industrial area, but not many schools or hospitals. An industrial area would be an area where there's a lot of factories and houses of the people who work there, and sort of maybe a few sort of train stations, car parks, but not a lot of green spaces or families as much.
So, 这个 industrial 就是工业的或产业的，那名词就是 industry。所以比如说我们在讲旅游业就是 tourist industry。比如说 the tourist industry brings a lot of money into the area。或者是我们讲电脑业就是 computer industry， 或燃气业 gas industry， 或电力工业，你都在前面加一个名词就可以代表是什么样的产业。电力工业就是 electricity industry。
So unfortunately, when there is a big industrial growth, it sometimes takes a while for proper cleaning up and taking care of the planet to catch up to all the new growth. And people were using this area as a dumping ground. So we'll start by looking at the word dump, which is a verb, and it's to casually throw something away because you don't need it or want it anymore. And when we use this dump, we're kind of communicating that it might be done in somewhere that's not the proper place, and certainly without really any care about what happens to it. You just throw it away, just like, it's gone, I don't need to think of it anymore. A dumping ground is a place where lots of things get thrown away. It doesn't seem to belong to anyone, no one's stopping you from doing it. So people will just kind of take stuff and dump it there and nobody will bother about it. Unfortunate, but it does happen. You might say, if we use this word as a verb, the company got in trouble for dumping trash in the nearby river. And if we use this noun phrase, dumping ground, near Mumbai, India, there is a dumping ground that contains more than 16 million tons of trash.
Oh, that's a lot. Okay, 所以 dump 就是倾倒或丢弃的意思。我们文章中讲到的 dumping ground 就是垃圾场，那这边的 dumping 是动名词用法。可是我们口语的时候使用 dump 也可以代表抛弃一个人或甩掉一个人的意思。比如说一个人一直抱怨她男朋友好了，然后你就说well, you should just dump him if he's so awful. 这个就是抛弃 to break up with someone 的一个比较口语的讲法。
Yeah, if you dump them, it's going to be pretty quick. That's it, we're done. You get out, get your stuff. I don't want to see you anymore.
No time to explain?
Yeah, no sitting down for look, this isn't working out. This is just a text message. I'm never seeing you again.
So you're just ignoring that person and you dump him?
Yeah, pretty much. It's not a pleasant way to end a relationship. Back to the article then, and we see waste quickly spoiled the local ecosystem. But members of the WBST took notice. Spoil as a verb is similar to the word ruin. You damage something so much that something can no longer be used or enjoyed. If food spoils, it goes all moldy and you have to throw it away. If you spoil like a party or something, then you'd really ruin it for everyone. They'd hate it. You might say Danny spoiled Rachel's birthday party by saying nasty things to her.
Why would you say nasty things to a person on that person's birthday?
Maybe she dumped him.
Oh, maybe. 所以这个 spoil 就是破坏的意思。那么我们经常说食物变坏也可以，比如说 the milk will spoil if you don't keep it in the fridge. 那么当然当宠坏这个意思也很常见，比如说 she's a spoiled child who thinks only of herself.
So an ecosystem is the way that all the different things in one environment kind of connect and rely on each other and fit together as a sort of whole. And when this was getting spoiled, the members of the WBST took notice. To take notice is to pay attention to something, realize it's going on, and generally you would then start thinking of ways to solve it if it's a problem. You don't just ignore it or go, okay, I've noticed that, move on. You go, all right, I've noticed this, we got to do something.
所以呢 take notice 就是注意或留心，所以废物很快就可以破坏当地的生态系统。不过呢，野鸟协会的成员一定是注意到这点嘛。
So, what did they do? The article says, after years of campaigning, the society got the government to allow it to tend to the area.
所以 campaign 就是发起运动，这边是动词，当名词也可以哦。我们也可以讲 to lead a successful campaign， 它就是一个很成功的运动。比如说 Joseph led a successful campaign against the closure of the library.
We also have the phrasal verb here, tend to. If you tend to something, and it's almost always used with the to for this meaning, you are looking after something. You're taking care of it. You're spending a lot of time and attention to make sure it grows or develops or is safe and is the way you want it to be. You might say the old man spends a lot of time tending to his garden. Here we mean the society is going to clear away the garbage, make the land better, stop people from making it worse again, all that kind of stuff.
所以这个 tend 就是照料照顾，所以我们会说 tend to something or tend to someone 就是去照料什么东西，照顾什么人。比如说你说爸爸很照顾这些植物好了，我就可以讲 My dad carefully tends his plants. 那么 tend to 通常还是可以用在倾向于发生什么事情，这个意思是不一样的。I tend to forget things unless I mark them down， 代表我倾向于好像都会忘记没有写下来的话，忘记事情。所以我们就知道说，经过多年发起的活动，野鸟协会终于得到政府允许他们照顾关渡这个地方。
Now, as you can probably imagine from the idea that it's a spoiled ecosystem that's a dumping ground, this is not going to be an easy task. The article says it was a huge project, and the WBST didn't know whether or not it could handle it. Now, that sentence includes today's language in focus, so I'm going to hand over to Chicolin now to explain it. 所以今天的 language in focus 要讲到的是 wonder, ask,
tell, know 怎么样 whether if 引导名词子句做受词的用法。那我们看下面几个句子，我们先讲一下好了。whether 跟 if 他们引导的名词子句就可以当成 yes or no 问句改写而来的间接问句。很复杂，我们看一下英文哦。We might stumble on the way and wonder whether it is worth all the effort. 这边就是说会去想说是不是都会我们的努力会不会有白费掉的意思，代表就是一个 yes no 问句改写而来的感觉嘛。那么 whether 跟 if 他们引导的名词子句句尾都可以放上 or not， 但是呢如果 or not 至于句中的时候，只有 whether 可以哦， if 就不可以了。我们看两个句子哦。Life will knock us down, but we can choose whether or not to stand back up. 这个是对的，可是当你今天把这个 whether 改成 if， 那它就不可以了。if 的时候呢 or not 只能放在句尾。那么看另外一个句子 Only time will tell whether we made the right decision， 或者是把 whether 改成 if 也是 OK 的哦。所以呢，要拯救这个地方是一个非常大的工程，因为原本是一个 dumping ground， 老师刚刚有讲。那野鸟协会当然不知道自己是不是可以承担。I think it requires a lot of money.
Right, and fortunately, since they've been asking the government helped. I guess the government thought, well, if you're going to do all the work, we can maybe at least help you with the finances, the funding. We see in the article, it says, a lot of money was given to help save Guangdu and the animals that lived there.And we see today, thanks to the hard work of the WBST, Guangdu Nature Park is alive again. So that's one job done, but their work isn't over. We see in the article the society continues to watch wild birds in their natural environment.
所以我们看到 environment 就是我们刚刚学到的 environmental 的名词，所以今日呢在 WBST 的努力下，关渡自然公园呢又重新焕发出勃勃生机。
And the article continues, the WBST doesn't just research birds, though.
所以这边的 research 就是研究调查当动词，那它的名词也是 research, but we can pronounce it in both ways, right? Research or research or...
Research, yeah. It probably just how you learned it, but they're all okay. Research.
I usually say research for the verb.
Okay, I think both, yeah, I would still say you might research something. But yeah, it's all good.So the article continues, it, meaning the group, studies insects and other animals too. Reason why, all of these creatures live together in a sensitive ecosystem. So here we're using the word sensitive to mean easily affected and damaged by outside forces. So in other words, it doesn't take much to sort of disturb the balance and throw everything out. It's not a tough or sturdy or hardy ecosystem that can survive a bit of garbage. Here, if you mess something up, you change one thing, the rest of it suffers. So it is sensitive. You might also say, this machine is quite sensitive. If you touch it, it stops working well.
所以 sensitive 就是很脆弱，容易受到伤害，或一个人很敏感，可以拿来形容人或东西。老师像刚好是形容是机器嘛，所以 be sensitive to something 就是对什么感到脆弱敏感的。比如说 her eyes are very sensitive to light， 代表她的眼睛对这个光线是感到敏感，或者是我们讲到一些比较敏感的话题，或者是敏感的议题，都是可以用这个字。We should encourage people to adopt a problem-solving attitude when discussing sensitive issues.Sensitive issues 这边指的是令人感到很敏感的议题。
The article continues, in addition to research, or in addition to research, however you want to say it, the WBST has written several books and runs regular workshops and bird-watching activities.
所以这边的 workshop 就是工作坊或研讨会。那么除了研究以外呢，野鸟协会也会撰写了很多本书，而且并定期举办研讨会跟观鸟活动。
And the article continues, it also manages the Wild Bird Rescue Center, where sick birds are given medical care.The word manage here means to run something, to organize a group, to manage and run a place, to make sure everything is working as it should. You deal with problems, you give instructions, you pay the people who work there, that kind of thing. You are the boss of this particular place. You might say, after working in sales for years, Rita was finally given her own sales team to manage.
Manage 就是管理或经营，那么也可以当成功做到的意思 to manage to do something。比如说 Ingrid managed to drag the table into the kitchen， 代表是一件需要费力做的事情，可是他做到了。那么这个字呢变成 manager， 就是你们之前看到的经理啊或管理人，甚至是经纪人都可以用这个字。那名词就是 management， 指的是管理。所以呢他们这个野鸟协会也是管理野鸟救援中心，就可以替生病的鸟呢提供医疗的照护。所以这边刚刚看到的字呢 rescue 就是救援的意思。我们常常说的 come to one's rescue， we came to his rescue and pulled him out of the river， 就是把他救出来的意思。这个字当动词也是可以哦。
So this group has come a long way from just a group of people who like to watch rare and interesting birds to this environmental group who is saving parts of Taiwan and educating other people on how they can better look after birds and just nature in general. So that leads us to today's For You chat question, which is, would you be interested in attending a WBST workshop? What kinds of things do you think you'll learn at one?
I think I would be very interested in attending one because, I don't really know much about birds. Like every time I look at them, I think all of them look the same.
Yeah, I can kind of tell the difference between your one that wades in the water and gets fish and your one that flies through the air and gets insects.
Is it the shapes of their wings?
And the legs and the beaks. If you've got a sharp pointy beak, you're going to be probably catching fish and stuff in the water with it. You'll stab in.
Like a more round one will be
probably scooping things up off the ground a bit more.
Okay, cool. Would you be interested?
I think if it had an outside component, if it was going to be a workshop that also involved going out and looking at the birds and checking out nature. Yeah, I think I would want it to be that kind of workshop rather than a stay inside and look at pictures and stuff.
Right.
I guess you'd learn about what the birds eat, where they nest, what problems they might encounter and what we can do to make things a bit better.
Maybe we should join.
Yeah, we could. I'm sure they have a website, and I'm sure there's plenty of details on their website about when they can attend a workshop or go on a bird watching activity, something fun like that. Yeah, right time of year when it's not too rainy, but also not too hot. I mean, I'm sure they the black-faced spoonbills, the famous birds that come at certain times in Taiwan.
Yeah.
I have no doubt they come.
黑面琵鹭.
Yeah, I think that's the ones, and they'll go and see those at the right time of year.
I think it's in Tainan, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll organize a trip for something like that. But yeah, that brings us to the end of today's article. Thanks for listening, everyone. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Shikling.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Industrial. Jill bought an industrial machine to make the process of making clothes faster. Dump. Mr. Huang got in trouble with the police for dumping his garbage at the side of the road. Spoil. Using bad soil can spoil a plant's growth and stop it from making pretty flowers. Tend. If you can tend to the baby, I'll go ahead and start cooking dinner. Sensitive. This type of soap is good for sensitive skin. It doesn't contain many chemicals, so it's very gentle. Manage. Now that my grandfather is getting older, it's harder for him to manage his company.
智慧小补帖
Campaign. Research. Workshop. Rescue.